So YouTube family, we got to talk about something I've been noticing out of this stud football player, Travis Hunter. We know about the talented football player he is. We know what he brings to the table. But do many people know the work ethics that Travis puts in? The studying in the classes, the breakdowns of film sessions, everything to that degree that made him Travis Hunter is the reason why he could play two ways. Because I have to break this part down because I've seen a narrative in the Reddit sections of things where people are going back and forth and saying he's just athletic. That's the only reason he compensates for his shortcomings. And I was thinking to myself, what's his shortcoming? And these people was bringing up IQ issues and all that. Well, we're going to debunk all that about Travis Hunter in a little bit. But in the meantime, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to this video. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell just like the freedom bells. You dig?
So many times I don't want to believe. Mama say it's my fault. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Niggas bless up on my.
So Travis Hunter, y'all, he debunked a lot of stuff on his own with just clear work ethic. A lot of people believe that Travis Hunter did what he did because he's a skilled player already, which it still takes work ethic and high IQ to do. But let me break it down. So let's talk about the grind that Travis Hunter already presented in front of the whole entire masses. Let's talk about what he did on Saturdays and now he's going to be doing on Sundays. So Travis and his final preparations for how he overcomes what people say about him is really insane preparations, bruh. This man just doesn't show up and play. He studies the game like a pro. He's been doing that since Pop Warner, bruh. If you know about Shedeur from Georgia and Florida, you'll know he's a high IQ brother. Forget about whether he's a melanated or Mayo or anything like that. His academics have always been high on par with those of Columbia. This man could have been admitted into one of these high universities who also offered this man a scholarship, but that doesn't get brought up. So you've seen a group of dudes the other day who had a conversation. These weren't regular dudes. These are pundits who actually get paid to talk about sports. And what they were talking about was IQ. I know. IQ seems to be the thing that they bring referring to us. But when they wipe out their families, wipe out their goldfish, the dog and the neighbors, IQ is never into question. But a simple game like football, our IQ is always into question, but that's neither here or there. We're talking about film sessions. You know what I mean? Film sessions and preparations of this young man named Travis that doesn't get talked about. How he literally wakes up before he reps anything is to get his mental reps in. Now, let's break this down. So when we're looking at the sessions, the late night, you know what I'm saying, the breakdowns, the offensive tendencies, if he's playing corner and studying average routes, the trees when he's lining up at receiver. And remember, this isn't just one position that Travis is preparing for. He's preparing for two. And he's not just on both positions, bro. He's going up against the best defensive backs in the nation. And at the same time, while covering the best wide receivers in the nation, he went from that to now going to Sundays playing against the best of the best, regardless of how trash we think an NFL player are. These are the best guys. Look, he's preparing for two roles every single week. That's double the film, double the mental reps, and he's still dominating on both sides. So where is the IQ deficiency that we see from, not Shedeur, but from Travis? If anything, despite of what people talk about his girlfriend or whatnot, that's one thing we can never take away from Travis. I know me for 3 years or 4. I've had 3 years for 4 for Shedeur, 3 for Travis, where I broke down on both gentlemen's IQ level. classroom level, especially Travis won. One thing I noticed that most recruiters talked about was his high IQ, but it seems to change because his affiliation with Deion Sanders. And not just Deion, almost all of us get watered down to this dumb hick who don't have enough smarts to comprehend what we're doing, which doesn't make sense because playing a gladiator barbaric sport like football, you have to have a higher IQ to even engage in that type of conflict on the field. You have to, bro. There's no way you can just pick up any Sam Cook off the field, throw him in there, give him some pads and say, go ahead and perform. You have to have a level of not just high IQ, but a level of experience, a level of mental a capacity to break down scenarios to find a solution for whatever is, hindering you from achieving success on the field. So if it's a top defensive back, let's use an analogy like a Champ Bailey, you're going to find a way to either remove yourself from that coverage and spree open, or take him man to man and find a way to separate yourself from, or if you're covering, you can find a way to go towards the nickel to get help or with that safety, or just flat out be a dog with the skills God gave you and shut them down on your island. But they don't talk about that. So when we look at what Coach Prime said, he himself said that Travis is one of the smartest players he's ever coached, not just talent wise, but IQ wise. He asks questions in the film sessions. He takes notes. That's what Prime told us. And defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators, he takes notes. He's always locked in. Teammates have talked about how he'll call them out of in practice and say, yo, bruh, I seen that route in film. You're not paying attention to it. You need to run it sharper. That's a leader holding his teammates accountable. And get this, guys, he holds himself accountable in the film room. Reports already came in. The hardest person on himself is Travis when he looks at film and notice he could have get a couple of more yards through one move he should have done that he got prepared for. So he'll go back to the drawing board, go back to the field, even after games, bruh, and doing repetitions to perfectly execute it the way it should through his mindset, his cerebral mindset. Don't forget that part, cerebral mindset, because they'll tell you that Travis is just another dumb jock. He sits in the car for Leon and all the jokes. But is he not a man? Just because he's in love with a woman, don't allow people to question his manhood, question his capability of performing. That's just wild, bro. Now you guys are too far invested into Leonda. It's one thing to be like, Travis, we love you. We don't want you to crash out. It's another thing when the man moved on from there. We said our piece. Let's see what he can do being the talented, skilled player he is. Now, think about the pressure. Everyone's watching him. You feel me? ESPN cameras, YouTube clips, well-off media, everybody on social media. But Travis blocks all that out and he hits tapes. It's his job. It's been his job since he was wearing pads, bro. He knew this was going to be something he was in for the rest of his life, or at least until he retires. Can we at least hold that part? So how he'll call them out in practice is something I loved, because he's very dialed in, bro. That remind me of my drill sergeants, people who were like that, responsible for all these soldiers going to war, bro. I love guys who are very, very dialed in. So let's get deeper on this. So because it's the man that wants to be elite, and elite players don't just rely on athleticism, they master the details of things, y'all. You can't just go there because you can run a 4-2 flat. You're strong as hell, bro. Do you understand the concept of the game? And can you break down scenarios once again in your cerebral mindset? It's like playing chess. Can you find a way to navigate yourself out of a tough situation for a better solution? And you have to do that within seconds of the game. There are no breaks like a video game and you press pause. So when you see Travis make a crazy interception or break off a crisp route for a touchdown, you just know that it didn't start on the field. That started on Monday in the film room, headphones on, laser focus, and he's not just playing the game, he's studying it like a true future Hall of Fame pro. That's one thing I will never be with you guys. It's one thing we can critique the girlfriend situation, but to go at Travis and not act like he's him, to act not like, this talented man is not about to break records in the NFL, I can never do that. I don't even hate Travis, but if I did hate Travis, you guys know what I would do. I'll be the first one to be like, damn, bruh, that kid is phenomenal. And my bad, not kid, that man's phenomenal. So I have to do these type of videos as well, not just where we're calling out certain people who don't like us for complexions and all. We're doing this so people can see the other part of this platform that I really love what I've done and built over here. We talk about all the other things that are also off the field, but still pertaining to football. And that's what I hope a lot of you YouTubers do. It's one thing to get a highlight film from the NFL Network, and then 1,000 of you YouTubers are uploading the same goddamn thing. But what can help your platform, because that high amount of views you're getting, YouTube fluctuates and it goes up and down. When that faucet runs out, you guys always act like a chicken with his head's cut off. No, but I'm gonna teach you values. Look for the stories that's gonna still be on YouTube for the next 10 years. It's ones like this, guys. When people want to know more in depth, not just the football player with the helmet, what other things you got about them, not just the TMZ stories, but what other thing that makes them who they are. Look, man, I'm DJ Bless, one of the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. But this really is deeper than football and bigger than football. But education will always surpass any brute force of what football can do for any man and woman. Look, man, with that note, I'm out.
Heart been broke so many times.